Marcus Kruber is a class in Warhammer Vermintide 2 that I have been playing more times than not. Did I ask for your input, Loner? Did I ask for your... Yeah, I didn't think so. And one of the classes that I have loved playing more than anything else is the Mercenary. I love the Mercenary. Mercenary is probably one of my favorite classes to play. Not only because it is like really fun to just destroy hordes all by yourself, but because of the role that it plays for your team in supplying health and damage boosts of various types. So with that, let's just get into this thing. Alright, so starting with the weapon of choice, I like the Defiance and Destiny. It's one of the DLC weapons. Some of the things that I like about it that separate it from other weapons is the fact that when you swing it, it does not slow you down. In fact, you can use it to increase your speed by doing this. It slightly increases your speed, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. Some of the stats that I like on it are 2 stamina and attack speed, and a lot of these you'll see me go for more stamina or increased attack speed, because that is what I believe Marcus Kruber's Mercenary is all about, getting that damage out there. And by default, Marcus Kruber's this weapon has 3 stamina bars, which isn't that good, to be honest. So what I do is I increase my stamina bars. And yeah, there is a fine line between block cost reduction and stamina, but generally I like being able to push my enemies around, and you cannot get that with block cost reduction. If I had another option to either have from here have stamina or block cost reduction, absolutely I would go block cost reduction. I have 2 weapons really. I like this one when I just really. I mean, I might even just, you know what? Nah, I'm okay. I'll stick with this one for now. This one is overall more reliable than this one. Moving on to, oh yeah, and sorry, I should probably mention my trait for this weapon, or yeah, my trait for this one is Swift Slaying. Marcus Kruber has a lot of crit chance, which allows him to make use out of crit mechanics such as Swift Slaying. So that's pretty cool. Moving on from there, I am a fan of the repeater handgun. It is in Vermintide 2. It was my favorite gun. In this game, it's my favorite gun. I like crit chance and crit power because once again, taking advantage of those crit mechanics. And the trait that I have for it is the critical. This is the Scrounger one, which restores 5% of your ammunition. And because the maximum ammunition this gun can carry is 40 bullets. Every time you get a crit, hypothetically, you should get 2 bullets back. So that's pretty cool. One of the things I like about the repeater handgun that's separated from the other guns that Marcus Kruber's Mercenary has. Notice that I said Mercenary and not his second career. Is that when it comes to the the handgun, it's kind of like a once and done. You fire once and you have to reload. You fire once and you have to reload. Same thing with the shotgun. Fire once, you have to reload. Fire once, you have to reload. Sometimes you don't even kill the thing you want to kill, and it's just a mess. But with the repeater handgun, it's easy. You can just, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, and all that. You can even mix it up, and you can fire all 8 shots pretty much at once in rapid fire, or you can fire them in clumps of 2. Look at that. You know, I tried. Anyway, moving on to the necklace of choice. I personally love every class having health and more stamina, or block cost reduction. Those are the 3 that you'll normally see on all my classes. Marcus Kruber's default health, I want to say, is 125. With 20% more, that would give you an extra 25 health, which would boost you up to 150 health. So yeah, there's that. The trait of choice is Natural Bond. It's really easy for Marcus Kruber to gain temporary health which personally is why I have Natural Bond, because it's like, while one is going down, the other is going up. I've never really had to make a lot of use of heals unless we have way too many, and it would just be a waste to leave them behind. And after that, we have a Charm. I personally, once again, like to increase my crit power and attack speed. It's very important to be able to have control over what you want to do with your weapon. Like, for instance, this is my swing mechanics. In the middle of my swing, I can be like, you know what, I'd rather block. If I time it right. Yeah, there you go, perfect. And I can, if I want, yeah, look at that. You just have more control. Anyway, trait, did I go over the trait? No, I didn't. No, that's for the trinket. I just go with increasing the duration of potions by 50%. Being able to do more with the potion that you have is probably the avenue I would like to go with. Following that, we have the trinket, the Holy Grail. I like 5% crit chance and 33% curse resistance. I do not have a dedicated arena mode trinket. You know, where you're fighting monsters in an arena. But I would probably go stamina regeneration, movement speed, or something along those lines if I were in arena mode. As for the, whatever you call it, the trait, I like to increase the explosion radius by 50%. It is, in my opinion, a little bit more difficult to handle, sometimes more difficult to handle patrols than it is to handle bosses. So the 50% explosion radius, in my opinion, does its job very well with what I want it to do. Moving on to talents. Let's do some talents. Those ones are important. So his passives are basically you can cleave through more enemies, which makes it easier to get pace strikes, which allows you to gives you a 10% increased attack speed for, I thought it was 5 seconds, to be honest. And then you have an alt that lets you give all nearby allies 25 temporary health. It's more important than you think. It's more valuable that, like, when you play Marcus Kruber, you're going to understand the importance of temporary health and what it can do for your team. So, and the other thing that he does is, of course, he has a 5% increased crit chance. If you are listening, you can probably hear that I'm getting a lot of crits right now. So let's just go into the talents. The first one is at level 5, and I'm going to be honest, all 3 of these are really, really, really good. In my opinion, this one is not the best, but it's good for the new players. Battle Scars is also a pretty good one for the new players. It increases your healing by 30%. That's really good. And then the increases critical strike chance by 5%. If it ain't broke, then... Okay, you know what? Let's just go on to the second one. Oh boy. Okay, so the more the merrier. I have this dead last. The reason is because it may look nice, but I cannot ever seem to get it higher than 6%. Meaning I am only utilizing 40% of the potential of this class. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of this talent. So, you know, I'm not really a big fan of that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say this one is kind of bad. These two though are actually really solid. This is really good for just like not taking repetitive damage. Like you get hit once, you get stunned, and then during that duration of getting stunned, another enemy can hit you while you're not able to react, and it does damage. It's like if you're fighting 2 storm vermin and one of them takes all your stamina away, and the second one swings immediately after, and it destroys you. It sucks. So I like that, and I used it for a while. But I kind of like this one, maybe just a little better, maybe just a little bit better. The only thing I don't like about it is that it accounts for your temporary health, meaning if you have less than 50% of your health that's green and the rest of it is temporary and it's above 50%, then it's not gonna be not gonna be there. It won't do anything. Anyway, moving on to the third set, the Requiem Reaper. This one, I'm not really too worried about. Compared to the others, to the other two. personally, I like these two way better because they can work better for you. Now, if you want to be a total freaking team player that you just everyone will bow down to your majesty, then you want Strike Together. Basically, while you have pace strikes, everyone else will have pace strikes as well. Um, which is why I have decided to not be a team player and reduce myself to Blade Barrier, which reduces my damage taken by all sources by 25% while Pace Strike is active. This kind of changes the utility of Pace Strikes, so that I can be a little bit more bold while I'm utilizing Pace Strikes. It's something that I felt was very necessary for my overall performance. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. I'm really sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. Anyway, the next set of talents is Drill Master, Mercenary Pride, and Captain's Command. This one, oh god, it's garbage. Don't even use it. The only reason you'd want to use it is to get your ally out of the gray. That's really it. Mercenary Pride, only based on temporary health of the slain. This one has its drawbacks because the thing is, let's say you're wailing on a Chaos Warrior and you do like 95% of the damage, and then your boy Victor comes in and decides, you know what, I think I want to steal this kill, and he steals the kill, and now all that temporary health goes to him if he has it, and none of the temporary health goes to you. With Drill Master, every single hit you do gives you temporary health, no matter how little it might be. So overall, I can see Drill Master doing more work than Mercenary's Pride. Following that, we have Gabbler, Inspirational, and On Your Feet. I would personally go with either Gabbler or On Your Feet. This one, On Your Feet, can revive down players, which is very useful. The problem is, it kind of it changes the situation. It makes it more situational, and it makes you want to hold on to your alt more than you use it. Meanwhile, Gabbler, it also changes it so that you can use it more and not have to worry about holding on to it as much. And then Inspirational, it's alright, I guess. I'm not really gonna say that it's bad, but overall it's not great. You know, there are limits to these things, like being able to use it 30% more effectively, versus giving you 20%, 20 more. I mean, it's okay, but I just have never really used it all that well. Let's see, is there anything else? I don't really think there is, so that's just about it for this video. Just wanted to cover Mercenary and give my opinions on the class. I love Mercenary. It's one of my favorite classes of all time. I've been Vermintide. I just was a sucker for Kruber, and I have also been a sucker for Barden. So I maybe expect one or two more of these videos. I'm not really that good at Vermintide 2. I mean, I have 500 hours, but you know, I'm not even gonna get into that. So that'll just about do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is ZachPep49, and I will see you in the next video. Also, don't expect me to do much gameplay because the recording mashed with my actual gameplay will be just way too laggy. It's astonishing that my internet or my game is running as smoothly as it is right now. So that'll just be about it. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is ZachPep49, and I will see you all in a potential future video. Have a good day, everyone.